You ever break the law to do what's right? I have. Harbored a fugitive, killed men who came for her, turned myself into the very thing a Texas judge already branded me as, a criminal. Funny how sometimes you gotta become the monster they say you are, just to prove you're human. Name's Colt. Just Colt. Lost my Christian name back in '71 when a Texas judge took one look at my Mexican blood and branded me a criminal for something I didn't do. 3 years in a hellhole prison teaches you two things, partner. How to spot a liar and how to become real good at killing when you need to. December of '76, I'm tracking elk through a Wyoming blizzard when I find her half froze in a snowdrift, wearing nothing but a torn traveling dress and terror in her eyes. Smart man would have rode past, but I'd already been judged a certain kind of man. Figured I'd be damned if I'd prove them right. That decision, that moment I climbed off my horse, cost me everything I thought I wanted, gave me the only thing I'd ever need. But you'll have to stick around to understand what I mean by that. And if you like stories about men who ain't quite heroes and women who ain't quite innocent, well, hit that subscribe. Might be I got more tales worth telling. She weighs nothing when I lift her. Can feel every rib through that calico dress. Lips blue as a winter sky. Skin like ice, but breathing. Barely. I sling her over my saddle and turn toward my cabin. Storms screaming in now, the kind that buries you alive if you're caught out. My horse knows the way, even when I can't see 3 feet ahead. Takes me near an hour to get home. Whole time I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing? Strange woman in the high country means one thing. Trouble. Either she's running from something bad, or something bad's chasing her. Neither's my concern. But my hands keep holding her steady. Guess 3 years in chains changes a man's calculations about what's worth risking. Get her inside. Fires down to coals, but catches quick with dry kindling. I lay her by the hearth, start cutting away the frozen dress. Don't get ideas now. Woman's dying. Modesty ain't the priority. Strip her down to her chemise, wrap her in every blanket I own, rub her hands and feet to get blood moving. Her eyes flutter open while I'm working. Dark eyes, brown, maybe hazel. Can't tell in the firelight. But I can see the terror plain enough. That animal panic of prey that's been caught. Easy, ma'am, I say, keeping my voice low. You're safe. Name's Colt. You near froze to death on the ridge. She tries to bolt. Actually tries to fight me off with those half-frozen hands. Strong for someone near dead. Whoa now. I ain't gonna hurt you. I hold up both hands, back away. You're free to leave once you can walk. But right now you try stepping outside. You'll be dead in 10 minutes. That stops her. She looks at the door, at the howling wind rattling the shutters, then back at me, making calculations. Smart woman. Water, she whispers, voice like gravel. I bring her a cup. She drinks like she's been lost in the desert. When she's done, she pulls the blanket tight around herself and just watches me, like a spooked filly ready to bolt at any sudden move. Got stew, I offer. Elk. Killed it yesterday. You should eat. She nods. Don't say nothing else. Just eats 3 bowls while I pretend not to notice. Woman's been starving. When she's done, she sets the bowl down careful-like and meets my eyes. Thank you. Don't mention it. I can't pay you. Didn't ask you to. She studies me real close then, looking at the scar on my jaw, the brand on my wrist I can't quite hide, reading my story, like I'm reading hers. You're not going to ask what I'm doing out here? Figure you'll tell me if you want. What if I don't want? I shrug. Your business is your business, ma'am. Come morning. Storm might break. You can be on your way. That's what I tell myself. Should have known better. Because come morning, we're snowed and proper. 10-foot drifts. Couldn't dig out if we tried. We weren't going anywhere for a week. Maybe 2. You know what happens when you trap 2 wounded animals together? They either kill each other or learn to trust. Ain't no middle ground. First 2 days, she won't hardly look at me. Keeps to one corner, wrapped in blankets. I give her space, work on my own business. Check traps, split wood, clean my rifle. Normal routine. But the cabin's small. 16 by 20 feet. Can't avoid someone forever in a space that tight. Third night, I'm mending tack by firelight when she finally speaks. Why'd you do it? Do what? Save me. You don't know me. Could be I'm running from the law. Could be I'm more trouble than I'm worth. I don't look up from the leather. Could be. Likely are. Then why? Now I meet her eyes. Because once upon a time, nobody saved me when I needed it. Figured I'd be a different kind of man than the ones who left me to rot. She's quiet a long moment. Then, what did they brand you for? My hand goes to my wrist without thinking. The scar's raised, ugly. Letter A, burned deep. Assault, the judge called it. They said I touched a white woman wrong. Her husband's word against mine. Guess which one the Texas court believed. Did you do it? No, ma'am. But I'm half Mexican. That was crime enough. She nods slow, like she understands something about being judged for things you can't control. My name's... She stops, shakes her head. No. Better you don't know my name. Safer that way. For you or for me? Both. And then, partner, she tells me her story. Takes most of the night. I pour us both whiskey, and we sit by that fire while the wind screams outside. And she unfolds her whole damn tragedy. Father was a merchant in Cheyenne. Good man, by her account. Honest, but honest men don't survive in a world built by liars. He borrowed money from the wrong people. $5,000 to cover bad investments. When he couldn't pay, they offered a deal. Harlan Riggs, cattle baron, owned half of Wyoming territory, wanted to own the other half, and he wanted her. Not as a wife, she says, staring into her whiskey. He was real clear about that. He wanted a housekeeper. That's the word he used. But I saw his ranch, saw the collection of whips and chains in his bedroom, saw how his last housekeeper left, barely able to walk. Her hands are shaking now. I don't touch her. Just wait. He gave me 3 days to decide. My father begged me, said it was just for a year. Just until he could pay the debt, said Riggs was a gentleman. She laughs, bitter. Men like Riggs don't want companions, Colt. They want something beautiful to break, something to own. So you ran. So I ran. Stole a horse from the staging post. Rode hard through the night. Made it to the ridge before the horse threw me. She looks at me. Before you found me. I'm quiet, processing. Because here's the thing. You see, by law, she's wrong. By law, her father's debt means Riggs has a claim. Running makes her a thief. And me, harboring her, makes me an accomplice. I'd spent 3 years paying for a crime I didn't commit. Wasn't eager to hang for one I did. She must see it in my face because she stands up quick. I'll leave, soon as the storm breaks. You've done enough. Sit down. But I said sit down. She sits, and I pour us both another drink. You ever notice, I say, how the law's got a funny way of protecting exactly the people who don't need protecting? Rich man can buy a judge. Poor man can't even buy a fair hearing. I take a swallow. I learned that lesson the hard way. So what are you saying? I'm saying the law ain't the same as what's right. And I've spent enough years following laws that didn't give a damn about me. Her eyes go wide. You're going to help me? Didn't say that. I lean back. Said I wasn't going to turn you in. Big difference. But we both knew what I meant. Week turns into 2. Storm keeps coming. And somewhere in all that white and cold, something shifts between us. She learns to shoot. I teach her with my old Colt revolver. The gun, not the man. Though I suppose that's confusing. She's got good hands. Steady. Learns fast. Squeeze, don't pull, I tell her, standing behind, guiding her aim. Gentle like. Treat it like, well, like something you want to please. She hits the target dead center. Turns around with this smile that damn near stops my heart. Like that? Yeah, I manage. Just like that. She teaches me things, too. How to cook something that ain't just burned meat and beans. How to mend clothes proper instead of my rough stitching. Reads to me at night from a book she had in her dress pocket. Poetry, of all damn things. I pretend not to like it, but I do. And I notice things. Can't help it. The way she moves, graceful, economical. The curve of her neck when she braids her hair. The sound of her laugh when I tell her about the time I tried to break a wild Mustang and ended up in a water trough. You ever been with a woman, Colt? Question comes out of nowhere one night. We're cleaning dishes. That ain't a proper question, ma'am. We're living in a cabin smaller than most prison cells. I think we're past proper. She's smiling, though. Teasing. Yes, I say. I've been with women. Did you love them? No? Truth is easier than I expected. Never let myself get that close. Why not? Because loving someone means they can hurt you. Prison taught me that too. She dries a plate slow, thinking. Sounds lonely. Safer than the alternative. She looks at me then. Really looks at me. And something passes between us. Something dangerous and warm and utterly stupid. Maybe, she says soft, safety ain't worth much if you're alone. I don't answer. Because she's right, and I know it. I see them on the 4th week. Storm's broken finally. I'm checking traps 5 miles from the cabin when I spot tracks. 4 horses. Moving systematic. Searching. Stay quiet. Follow at a distance. Get close enough to hear voices. Riggs wants her back. Dead or alive don't matter much. She's here somewhere. Can't have gotten far in this weather. There's a cabin up on Bear Creek Ridge. Trapper lives there. We'll check it tomorrow. My blood goes cold. I'm back at the cabin before dark. She knows something's wrong the moment I walk in. They found us. Not yet, but they will. I start gathering supplies. We leave at first light, head north to Montana territory. Montana? That's 200 miles through the mountains in winter. I meet her eyes. But they got different laws up there. Homesteading opportunities. A man and woman could file a claim, start over. She goes very still. A man and woman. Yeah, you'd do that? Risk everything for someone you barely know? And here's where I could lie, you understand. Could say it's just the right thing to do. Could pretend I'm noble. But I'm tired of lies. I'd do it, I say, because somewhere in the last month, you stopped being a stranger, and I stopped being alone. I run a hand through my hair. Probably fool reasoning. Probably get us both killed. But I'm done pretending I don't give a damn. She crosses the cabin in 3 steps, puts her hands on my face, and kisses me like she's been wanting to for weeks. And I kiss her back. Because I have been. We should sleep, I say, when we finally break apart. Need to leave before dawn. Sleep can wait, she whispers. What happens next? Well, partner, Some things are private, but I'll tell you this. I'd been alone for 10 years. 10 years of cold beds and colder hearts. And that night, with her in my arms, with her breath on my skin and her body warm against mine, I remembered what it felt like to be human, to be wanted, to be whole. We loved each other slow and careful in that firelight. And when it was done, she fell asleep with her head on my shoulder. First peaceful sleep I'd had in years. We leave before dawn. 2 horses, light packs, heading north through the high passes. Don't make it 10 miles before they find